Mic check one, mic check two. If you're watching this live stream back on the replay, take advantage of the chapters and skip ahead to the start of the show. I'm still setting up and giving people some time to tune in. Woo! Yes, guys, I'm glad it's starting to cool off, at least where I am. But I'm hearing it's hot all over the place. But I'm ready for you guys tonight. We're going to have an awesome show. I got everything set up. I'm on time. And I'm ready to get this in. I'm ready to get it in. There was some action in the market today. Definitely seems like it was more volume going on today than yesterday. So we're seeing some new movers. And we're going to talk all about it. All about it. All right, let's get this chat set up. We're going to start at 11. We're going to start at 11. Just want to be here on time. Take this, change this to that. Do that. Too loud, turn that down. Let's try this again. Here we go. That's better. We can go with that. As long as I can hear the messages when they come in. You know, I be missing the messages sometimes because I can't hear it. So we're good there. All right, go here. We got that. Go to the charts. We're gonna cover GM. 2 minutes to showtime, guys. 2 minutes. I have to get me another fan. This little fan I got is starting to make noise. It's starting to make noise. I hope it don't get in the mic. But we gonna deal with it tonight. I'm sure gonna replace it. Get me a new one. 1 minute to showtime. 1 minute. 1 minute. And thank you guys so much for supporting the content. The subscribers are going up. The likes are going up. The comments are going up. Thank you guys for helping be an important part of this channel and this community. I really appreciate you guys. Yes, yes, yes. Let's go here. Few more seconds, guys, and we can go ahead and get started I hope you guys had an awesome day. I hope I said that. I hope you guys had an awesome day in life and in the markets. And we're going to get this market recap live going. Here we go. It's 11. So let's go ahead and get started. Welcome to Market Recap Live. I'm your host, Joseph Martin, and thank God it's Tuesday, guys. It is Tuesday. And tonight we are taking a look at ticker GM. You might know them better as General Motors. General Motors Company was founded in 1908 by William C. Durant, Charles Stewart Mott, and Frederick L. Smith, with the first manufacturing facility opening in Flint, Michigan. Now they're publicly traded on the New York Stock Exchange and have a market value over $70 billion. Yes, that's billion dollars. General Motors is in the automobiles industry in the consumer's discretionary sector, and they are listed in the S&P 500 index. Some of General Motors' competitors are Ford Motor Company, ticker F, Tesla Incorporated, ticker TSLA, and Stellantis NV, ticker STLA. We're going to review General Motors earnings, their website, and pull up the charts to perform a quick technical analysis. But before we do that, let's do our roll call and check our stream poll. We are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and X. Let's get this chat going and tell us where you're tuning in from. Put a YT in the chat if you're tuning in from YouTube, FB for Facebook, and an X for X. While you guys are filling up the stream and the chat, here's the mission statement. We are building a community over here for people who want to take control of their financial situation by learning how to unlock the wealth building power of the stock market. And we are streaming Monday through Friday following trading sessions at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. The U.S. stock market regular trading hours are 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Time. And there's a link for the New York Stock Exchange calendar down in the description. Okay, let's get to it. Let's get to these earnings. Bam, bam, bam. That look like that's everything. All right, let's go. General Motors Company, ticker symbol GM, the $71.7 billion company, reported its second quarter 2026 earnings on Tuesday, July 21st. They have a 52-week high of $87.62, which took place on February 4th, and a 52-week low of $48.87 that occurred on July 22nd last year, which is a trading range of $38.75. And they closed today at $79.52. General Motors earnings report beat on the top line, reporting revenue of $48 billion, which was higher than the market expectations of $46.7 billion. And they beat on the bottom line as strong North American truck pricing and retail demand offset tariff friction. EPS was higher than the analysts and market expectations of $3.16 when they reported an adjusted EPS of $3.57. General Motors reported a GAAP net income of $1.3 billion, which is lower than the $1.9 billion net income they reported this same quarter last year. This represents a decrease of 31.6%. So for the second fiscal quarter of 2025, their net profit was approximately 46.2% higher. My mouth is dry. Give me a second. I tried to push through it. It was bothering me. Let's go. So for the second fiscal quarter of 2025, their net profit was approximately 46.2% higher than it is compared to now a year later. The earnings were released before the market opened, followed by an 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time conference call. As far as guidance, management raised its full year 2026 earnings before interest and taxes adjusted guidance to between $14 billion and $16 billion. That 52-week low compared to today's closing of $79.52 represents an increase of 62.72% in just under a year. So if someone invested $1,000 last year in July at that 52-week low of $48.87, they would be seeing a gain of $627.20. Woo! We did that. Now let's move on. So here we go. Bam, bam, bam. All right. Researching a company. Let's talk about why we visit these company websites. We're looking at the visuals and text to find answers to these key questions. What goods and or services does the company sell? How important are those goods and services to their customers? What makes this company stand out from the competition? And how well do they take care of their employees? Where we look. We search for those answers in four main areas: the homepage for the goods and or services, about us for purpose, vision, values, and mission statements, careers for employee benefits and opportunities, and investor relations for stock quotes, charts, and financial reports. And for your convenience, all companies featured in tonight's live stream are down in the description. All right, let's go to GM's website. Here we go. Bam. Bam, bam, bam. Double check. Yeah, we're good. All right, so here we are. Let's browse around at the top to see what we can find. So we see careers right here at the top, see investors and our company and about us. So that's everything we need to look at. I want to look at brands if we don't run across that on the home page. So let's browse over the home page and then we'll start clicking on these links, guys. Here we go. Amazing vehicles make headlines. Got it. Read more on GM News. It's the one that's right for you. So here are a few different vehicles they're browsing through. It's just going to keep playing. We make it. You love it. Wait a minute. We make it, you love to drive it. That's what they said. We have an obsession with performance and a feel for the road we've fine-tuned for over a century. It's how we deliver iconic vehicles across our family of brands, including the one for you. So it looks like they cover the brands here: Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, and Cadillac. They have some fine financing here. Credit card, engineered for today and tomorrow. Oh, here we go with that funny scroll thing. Bring your drive. So that's careers, iconic apparel from the brands you love to drive. So they selling clothes too. Get your clothes and your cars. All right, take me off the screen and let's look for these links down here as well. So that looks like those are the different brands. Yeah, everything we need look like it's going to be at the top, guys. So let's go back to the top. Put me back on the screen. Let's go to our company right here and go to About Us. Let's see what we can find. About Us. Finding the one starts right here. A portfolio of excellence for more than 90,000 employees driving global impact. 150 plus facilities sparking progress for communities and economies across America. 4 iconic vehicle brands providing the one for every drive: Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, and Cadillac. Why are those links broken? I have no idea. What does it take? Everything. Obsession with the craft. American Drive, life-changing technology, time-tested strength, and a lot of other information right there. 2026 Cadillac Vistique. Got it. All right, so that was the about. Let's go ahead and go to careers. Come on, mouse. Go to the top. Here we go. Right up here at the top. There we go. Careers. And of course, that opened up a different website. So let me bring that over and blow it up, guys. Bear with me. We getting it. We getting it. Only essential. Ooh, I hate these cookies. Blow this up. Make sure we zoomed in. We're good. Better is only the beginning. Got it. Our vision is a world with 0 crashes, 0 emissions, and 0 congestion. We are working to make our world better, safer, and more equitable for all. Who we are, our culture, our people, the brands people love: Chevrolet, Cadillac, GMC, Buick, OnStar, GM Parts, GMFinancial.com, GM Insurance, GM Energy, GM Evolve. Man, they got a lot of different stuff going on there. Innovation in action. Early careers. Looking for the right fit. Latest jobs. I don't think we've seen anything about benefits yet. Where do you want to work? Where you want to work at? United States, Detroit, Michigan, Austin, Texas. Let's keep browsing. Australia, and view all locations. Our stories. Read about the people, technologies, and commitments that are shaping the future of GM mobility. View all stories. And some other things there. Look like some awards and recognition there as well. How we hire is down here at the bottom. I'm looking for the headline. I mean, there it is, right there at the top. Benefits, guys. That's where we need to go. How well do you take care of your employees? Benefits. A workplace that supports your life, not just your job. U.S. salaried employees. Okay, we're not going to read all this. So we just going to point out where this is. So they break it down based off salaried employees, hourly employees with seniority, temporary hour employees. So they offer some type of benefits for each tier of employee, okay? Physical well-being, emotional well-being, and career growth. So remember, links are down in the description. You want to dig through this. That's a lot of different reading. So we're going to move on. So let's finish browsing over this page. Join our team. All right. And now let's go to investors. I believe this link right down here at the bottom is going to take us to the same place that we need to go to. So there we go. Put me back on the screen. Here's the stock information. And we're going to browse over this page and want to look and see if we can find the charts and the stock quote. So recent presentations, quarterly results, investor news, events. Great. We're at the bottom. Well, I thought we were. Terms and conditions. All right. Now let's go back up there to that and see if it's a hyperlink. Nope, we can't click that. So let's look at the top. Here it is, stock information. So let's go there. Bam, there's the stock quote. Now I'm thinking the chart is supposed to be right here. And guys, if you've been following the show, you already know when we go to these websites, guys, sometimes it takes a while for these charts to load up. Sometimes there's no chart there at all. Like yesterday, we was looking at a company and it was loading forever. It never loaded the chart. But we didn't sit there and wait. We did some other things, but we came back to it and see that it didn't load. But this one did. So here's the chart that they have available for people browsing the GM website, looking under the investors tab. That's the stock quote and other tools for people browsing the website with the tools that they have for investors. All right, so let's move on. Let's talk about what I found in my research about the company. So here we go. Their clients and partners. General Motors does have clients and partners that are listed in the S&P 500. Some notable names include Uber Technologies Incorporated, ticker UBER, Amazon.com Incorporated, ticker AMZN, and AT&T Incorporated, ticker T. All right, now let's talk about the mobile limitations. Before we look at the charts, remember, professionals trade from a computer, not a mobile device. Mobile trading apps are limited and don't have all the features that are available on full trading platforms. Now let's look at General Motors on the charts. Here we go. Bam, bam, and bam. GM. There we go. Good. All right, guys, we are looking at a 1 year daily chart for GM. Already have them pulled up on the chart. Here is the ticker symbol right there in the symbol box. So they have a 52-week low of $48.87. Here's their 52-week high of $87.62. And before we focus on the technicals, because we have a few things on here already, we are going to look at the higher time frame. So let's go back, and here we go. This is a 10-year weekly chart. Let's check to see if we see 2016. We absolutely do. So this is the full 10 years. Here is the 10-year low of $14.33, 10-year high of $87.62. And that is also the 52-week high. I don't know why it just did that. Let's go back here. Why did it do that? Let me put these boxes back. There we go. And let me look to verify. I believe that's the same. Yeah, that's also the 52-week high, $87.62. So it's a 10-year high and a 52-week high. Now, historically, we don't have any price action we really need to look at on the higher time frame because the price is up here. So within the 10 years, we don't have any price levels up here for the technicals. We don't get there until we get down to this gray zone right here. And since we already have that mark, we'll use that on our higher time frame if we even see it. All right, so let's go to the lower time frame. So let's go to the 1 year daily chart. We can remove these boxes. Okay, so we have a gap down here that hasn't been filled yet. The price action is all the way up here, so we don't really need to worry about that. So let's remove that drawing I had, and let's start looking at these technicals. Guys, we had some price levels on here already that it seems like GM is bouncing and responding off of, because we already had these levels here, and this candle for today came down and tested this level of support we had on the chart at $74.78. We also had $79.54, which is close to a round number, $80, because we've been talking about psychological price numbers. So being around a round number, it would be closer to 80. We would look at the 80 with that. But to be precise, that's $79.54. And we can see that it responded to both of those. So with the price close being right here at the top of the body of that green candle, of course, I'm seeing $78.02 as support. I'm also seeing the 9-day simple moving average and the 200-day simple moving average as support. And both of those numbers are $77.20, and the other one is $76.24. When I say other one, the white dash line is the 200-day simple moving average, and I'll show you where we can see that at right up here. Simple moving average 9 and the 200. The 9 is green. It's gonna move around. I shouldn't have did that. Let's do this one more time. Let's do this one more time. Mouse over this and then pull that box up. Here we go. So the simple moving average, the 9 and the 200. The 9 is $77.20. The 200 is at $76.24. So I'm seeing those as support because the price is right up here around $79.54. To be exact, it's $79.52 because that's where it closed at today. So it closed right below this area of resistance. So that's our area of resistance. Now let me look to see if I see something else. We have this zone over here. Let me back up. We're too close. We're too close, guys. We too zoomed in. Because we got some other prices over here. Let me extend this. Extend this over to December 1st. Bam. And then back this up a little. So we'll take this back. Yep, that's good enough. One. Got it. So we can see now that I expanded that zone, this is going to be an area of resistance because the price is down here. So I'm going to put the top of the zone and the bottom of the zone. We're going to put a price level there so we'll be able to see it. So the top of that zone is going to be $83.08. So $83.08. Go here, $83.08. $83.08. Bam. So that's the top of the zone. The bottom of the zone is $82.40. $82.40. It let me get so close, but it won't let me get exactly what I need. We got it now, though. We got it now, though. $82.40. There we go. So that's going to be my resistance zone. So that's what it needs to get through next. And ooh, I would say this too. That would be the next level I would look at. We see a couple of candles that's responding. It's in the midpoint of these candles right here, this red one and this green one. But these wicks come real close to it if they haven't actually touched it in this area as well. So that's the area of resistance I'm seeing at $85.10. So we have areas of resistance. We have areas of support. And then this zone right here, I can extend this over. We can do the same thing with this. And then we can move on, guys. Just bear with me. Here we go. December 1st. And then we take this one back to 2025, July 1st. July 1st. Bam. So that's that zone. And if you want to see the prices, go to edit properties. $71 is the bottom of that zone. $72.22 is the top of that zone. Price levels. $71. Just go ahead and put it there and then manually update it. $71. Bam. And the top was $72.22. Oh, they let me get it exact. Thank you. Finally. So those are our levels, guys, of support and resistance. And there's actually a gap right here as well. So we could have highlighted that gap. Matter of fact, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I ain't going to cheat you. I'll show you where this gap is. So bam, extend this over to December 1st. I'm not going to do the price levels, though. I'm going to tell you that. We're not doing the price levels on it. So December 1st, turn it yellow, and then just pay attention to this right here. This is going to be the bottom of that zone, of the gap. This is going to be the bottom of the gap, $72.88. The top of that gap is going to be $73.19, and that's where the gap happened. Just to keep an eye on that level because it might respond to that first and never come down here to this level if it heads this direction. But I definitely wanted to identify that gap. I'll put the top level on there, $73.19. So we at least see that. Okay. All right. We marked this up a lot, but that's what I got for you. So let's go ahead and get our stock quote for GM and we can move on after we talk about the volume, of course. So here we go. Go to settings, cut on the floating data box, and here we go. So GM opened today at $76.09. They had a high of $80.10. They had a low of $74.80. And they closed today at $79.52, which was a trading range of $5.30. Now, when we look at the trading volume, remember they had earnings announced today before the market opened, I believe. We'll double check that in a second. But they traded 11.9 million shares of this company today. So is that a big deal or a little deal? We don't know. We're going to figure that out. Let's cut the floating data box off. Take me off the screen. And let's check these earnings right quick. Yeah, it was before the market open. So it was definitely before the market open. Let's go over here and find out what the average trading volume is in a daily trading session for GM. Guys, it's 8.4 million. So coming in at 11.9 million is definitely above average. And even though it doesn't look like that's a lot, like there's not much higher than 8, this is where the volume percentile comes in at. So we'll talk about that in a second. And Monday's candle right here, that red candle, they came in at 8.8 million shares traded that day. So we definitely see an increase in volume, and that was above average as well. Put me back on the screen and let's talk about the volume percentile. So when we look at this tool, we can see that out of the most recent 252 trading days, guys, today's volume, this green candle right here, today's volume was higher than 89.3% of those 252 trading days volume. Okay. To be specific, only 27 of those days had higher volume than today. That's to give us a clear idea of how significant the volume for today was. All right. Got it. Now we can move on. We did it. Let's move on. Let's go here, 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 here. Cool. All right. Community support. Back to the community. I would appreciate it very much if you guys share the stream, hit the like button, subscribe, and if you wish to send a monetary gift to support the content, Cash App and PayPal links are down in the description as well as on the ticker on the screen. And it takes $10 to become the first sponsor of tonight's show. So it goes right there. Your name will go right there and the amount that you donated or used to support the channel to become the sponsor. There we go. All right. Now let's talk about the S&P 500 index. Let's look at what the S&P 500 index did today by using the SPY ETF. This ETF gives investors an opportunity to participate in the broader US market by allowing them to own a percentage of each company in the S&P 500 index. All right. Now let's go back to the charts. So we go here. Bam. We already got that. Let's go here. Boom, boom, boom. Bam. We got it. All right. Now let's go to the symbol box and type in SPY. We got the SPY pulled up. So let's pull the ticker up for that. Bam. All right, guys. So take me off the screen. The SPY has a 52-week low of $619.29. I'm moving kind of fast. Guys, we're looking at a 1-year daily chart, just to point that out. 1-year daily chart, they have a 52-week low of $619.29 and a 52-week high of $760.40. The SPY does. Now let's go ahead and zoom in on the price action. So here we go. Put me back on the screen. Yeah. Drag this over. Okay. Yesterday, we were looking at the fact that it was trading in this range right here with these two candles. It closed in between the area of support and resistance at $744.44 and $737.05. So it was able to open today above that resistance. So let me point out what I'm saying. Yesterday, the SPY closed here. Today, they opened here. So basically, it jumped up and opened above that area of resistance, and it used it as support today. The wick came down and tested it a little bit, like dipped his pinky toe down there. Then it came up. It fell shy of the 9-day simple moving average, and we can't see what that level is. So let me mouse over it so you can see what that is. Up there at the top, the 9-day simple moving average is at $749.65, and the 200-day is at $697.47. Okay, so the high today came just shy of that. And we have an area of resistance at $749.88, and that's also near that psychological price level that we've been talking about every time we look at this, which is $750. Okay. So let's focus on what the volume was with the SPY today, because we already have our levels. Nothing really pretty much changed. We have most of that there already. So let's talk about the quote for this ETF, and then we'll talk about the volume. So The SPY opened today at $746.49. Where did I say 49 cents? Wait a minute. Let's slow down, guys. Let me do this. The SPY opened today at $746.29. They had a high of $749.04. They had a low of $744.18. And they closed today at $748.28, which is a trading range of $4.86. Now, when we look at the volume, oh my. The volume today was 34.3 million shares of this ETF was traded today. So is that a big deal or a little deal? Let's find out. So let's cut off the floating data box, take me off the screen, and let's talk about it, guys. So the average trading volume for the SPY in a daily trading session is 72.3 million shares of this ETF, guys. Today, they only traded 34.3 million shares of this ETF, okay? Now, that volume, it opened higher today, got above resistance, but the volume is dropping. Because yesterday, this red candle right here had more volume. It wasn't above average, but it was more volume. They traded 50.4 million shares of this ETF yesterday. They traded only 34 today, so we see a decrease in volume, but the price is moving up. So that's what we got there. Now let's talk about the volume rank percentile so you can see why I made that face when I first mentioned the volume. Guys, out of the most recent 252 trading days, today's volume was so low that it's only higher than 1.2% of those trading days. To be specific, only 3 of those days out of 252 trading days had lower volume than today. That's crazy. That's crazy low. That's why I made that face. I'm like, what? Yeah, very low volume on the SPY today, guys. Okay. All right, let's move on. Let's take this off the screen. Let's go here. Bam. Yeah, we're good. Put the light there. All right. Sector performance tracker, time to follow the money. Let's look at each sector inside the S&P 500 index to see how they performed today. Let's see how they did. Now, I need to pull up our notes, so I'm going to pull that up before I pull up the charts, guys. Let me pull that up real quick. Sector performance, and I did what I said I was going to do. I made sure that I updated our notes because I didn't have that yesterday because we really didn't need it, but I did put it in our notes. So we are good. We are good. All right, so let me pull this up so you can see what's going on. So we go there, performance tracker. All right, so here we go. Right up here, we're going to go to sector performance. And we have it set to 1 day, which is awesome. That's where we are, 1 day. And let's pull up we'll pull up the notes last. Let's just go ahead and talk about it. So we're going to go through the SPY and all of the sectors. Okay. So the SPY is up 0.8%. Energy is up 1%. Materials is up 0.1%. Industrials is up 0.3%. Consumer discretionary is up 0.2%. Consumer staples is down 0.9%. Healthcare is up 0.6%. Financials is up 0.1%. Information technology is up 2.9%. Communication services is down 0.7%. Utilities, it looks flat, but we'll break that down in a second. And real estate is down 0.1%. The equal weight RSP is up 0.2%. All right, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to open this up and we're going to pull up our notes. So here we go. All right, I already put the data in our notes, so we're going to go over that in a second, but look over here at the watch list. So I have the biggest losers at the top, and we have mentioned something that had looked flat. So which one was that? Utilities. So that's XLU. So they were actually down 0.04%, but because it rounded it off, it looked like it was just flat. So that's the specifics over there, okay? If you want the specifics, for 2 decimal points. It'll be right here in the watch list. So let's go over to the notes, and we're going to go through each sector and see who's showing up this week as gainers and losers. What's moving over here? So we're not looking for extremes. We are looking for both. So we put both on, and now we start going through the sectors. So let's look at communication services. So communication services showed up today as the second biggest loser, down 0.7%. So far, we're looking at how these sectors are performing this week. Now we go to consumer discretionary. They showed up as the second biggest loser on Monday, down 1%. Consumer staples showed up today as the biggest loser, down 0.9%. Energy showed up as the biggest gainer on Monday, and the biggest gainer, the second biggest gainer today. So energy is moving to the upside for 2 days as the biggest gainer. Got it. Now financials was the third biggest gainer on Monday. Healthcare, third biggest gainer today. Industrials, the third biggest loser on Monday. Information technology was the biggest loser on Monday and the biggest gainer on Tuesday. So it made more than it lost on Monday, but it's moving. It's definitely moving. It's definitely volatile. All right. Materials, it's quiet. It's not showing up as the top 3 or the bottom 3. Real estate, it showed up as the third biggest loser today. All right. So that's what we got for that. Let's move on and go here. That's not what I'm pushing. Go here, here, here. Got it. Biggest losers and gainers, guys. Now, let's look at the S&P 500 biggest gainer and loser of the day. But first, we're going to look at the loser so we can end the night on a high note, okay? So let's go back to the charts and close all this stuff out, but let's go. So here. Yeah, we'll leave it like there for right now. So close our notes, drop this watch list, go over here, pro market closed. And once that loads up, bam, we go to market watch, then go to quotes. We already there. Okay, so the biggest loser for today, guys, is ticker DHR, Danaher Corporation. Danaher, they are the biggest loser. They lost 10.99% today. Their previous close was $201.11, and they closed today at $179.01. That looks sloppy. I'm about to fix that. There we go. All right, now let's do a hypothetical. That would be here. Pull up our calculator. What number are we gonna use today? Let's use 3,500. So if somebody invested $3,500 and they lost that 10.99%, we would negate that and then we would turn it to a decimal. They would have lost $384.65. Add this back to the $3,500 investment or principal, and they would be left with $3,115.35. Got it. Now let's go over to the Analyze tab. After we select Danaher, because that's what we didn't do. Why did that turn blue? That's weird. All right, so we got that. Go to the Analyze tab. Now, Danaher is in the healthcare sector. So we're going to see how that sector performed, that industry that it's inside of performed, and the sub-industry. So let's go over here to our Market Watch tab and then go over to Visualize. We have the S&P 500 heat map pulled up. So let's find healthcare. Healthcare is right here. And we can see that bright red down here in the corner. So we're in the healthcare sector, and Danaher, say that right, Danaher, is in the life sciences, tools, and services industry. So let's go in there. And it looks like the sub industry is the same as, as the industry. So it looks kind of balanced, guys. I'm seeing red and green look kind of balanced. So that's red, that's red, that's red. So you got 5 reds and yep, 5 reds and 5 greens. But Danaher lost almost 11% today. All right, let's go back to analyze, and we can see this is their official name, Danaher Corporation. Here's the link to their website. It's also down in the description for your convenience. Danaher Corporation designs, manufactures, and markets professional medical research and industrial products and services in the United States, China, and internationally. Got it. Let's go to their website. Danaher. We are there. Put me back on the screen. Take that down. We have the ticker up. Yeah. Oh, please have this stuff easy to find. Well, they have the stock information here, but I see investors, careers, about Danaher. Oh man, they did make it easy. Wonderful. So what we're going to do, we're going to browse over this homepage, and we're going to come back up to the top and start clicking. Applying the power of science and technology to deliver innovation at the speed of life. We're Danaher, a leading global life sciences and diagnostics innovator committed to accelerating the power of science and technology to improve human health. Our businesses, biotechnology, diagnostics, life sciences. This is how Danaher brings innovation at the speed of life to the world by connecting science, accelerating progress, and delivering impact at global scale. Browse. Bringing new possibilities to life, innovative mindset, initiatives, acquisition, science, and innovation. From our environment to our associates, we're determined to create positive impact that accelerates greater progress. Learn more about Danaher. Top 6 takeaways from the 2026 Danaher Summit. We're at the bottom. Thank gosh. All right, about Danaher. We're going to go right there. Bam. About Danaher. Accelerating science and technology to improve human health. I believe we read that already. But okay, let's keep scrolling. I think that's a video. Remember, links to the website are down in the description so you can go over some of this stuff yourself. Celebrating 40 years of a real life impact, 1980s, 1990s. We saw that stuff already. Danaher is uniquely positioned to help accelerate the power of science and technology to improve. We read that again. Here are our leaders in the company. What we deliver: urgency, partnership, empowerment, advance your career, and bring more life to life. Bring more to life. We hold ourselves to the highest standards in sustainability. Learn more about Danaher. Got it. Let me go up here and see what we got in here. About us, leadership, our businesses, what we stand for. You can't click on that. So if I go to leadership, what will it do? Will it take us to that section? Yeah, it took us to that section. That's the same thing we just looked at. All right, let's move on. Let's go to careers. Let's see what we can find about the benefits. How well do they take care of the employees? This looks like they zoomed us out. There we go. Working at Danaher. At Danaher, we accelerate the power of science and technology to improve human health, turning ideas to impact faster through collaboration across a connected global ecosystem of life sciences, diagnostics, and biotechnology businesses. Whew. Search life sciences jobs. So those are different departments that people can apply for, make a real difference. Looking at the top, our businesses, explore your future. So those are different departments. Ooh, those are a lot of different departments. What excites me is knowing that Danaher will change the world with innovation, empowering scientists to rewrite the code of life. I didn't see anything. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Thank you. I was just about to say, see anything about benefits. Danaher benefits. At Danaher, we believe that supporting our people means supporting the whole person. That's why new associates receive a comprehensive benefits package designed to enhance physical, financial, and emotional well-being. Got it. Learn more about benefits at Danaher. Yeah, I clicked it. All right. We're not going to click all this. I just wanted to get a better idea, like a little bit more specifics. So stay financially fit, explore core health benefits, prioritize well-being, prepare for the unexpected, support your family. Are you a family member? Quick links and all of that. All right. So we found that. Now let's find our way back to the investors information, because they done took us all out of this stuff. All right. At the top, I don't see it. Let's go back. Go back. There it is right here at the top. Investors. Woo. Glad that was easy. Zoom in. Yep, I knew they zoomed us out. Okay, investor relations. Here it is, guys, stock information. I'm gonna browse over this and then we're gonna click on that, okay? And remember, the links are down in the description for your convenience. If I'm moving too fast or you wanna spend a little bit more time on something, knock yourself out. Here you go. All right, stock information. Stock quote, chart, and other tools. Got it. So here's the stock quote. Ooh, that's red, 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 red. And they got the stock chart separate. So let's click on that. So there's the chart. I like the fact it loaded up fast. All right, we got it. So let's talk about what I found in my research about the company. So here we go. That is not the button. Here we go. Got it, got it, got it. Danaher. All right, Danaher Corporation, ticker DHR. When it comes to their goods and services, they manage life sciences across the biotechnology, diagnostics, and medical device markets, offering solutions such as, number one, complete bioprocessing options, including cell culture equipment and chromatography systems for biopharma companies. Number two, scalable diagnostic products, including lab tests, analyzers, testing kits, and reagents for clinical laboratories. And number three, optimized precision systems tailored for tissue pathology, genomic research, and continuous patient monitoring. Looking at their S&P 500 clients and partners, notable names include Pfizer Incorporated, ticker PFE, Eli Lilly and Company, ticker LLY, and Thermo Fisher Scientific Incorporated, ticker TMO. Got it. Now let's go to the charts. Let's go to the charts. Bam, bam. We already got the ticker up. Yes. All right. Now, Danaher is a company we've never looked at before, so we got our work cut out for us, guys. So here we go. We are looking at a 10-year weekly, but that's not where we want to start. Here is a 1-year daily chart. They have a 10-year wait a minute. I'm thinking about the chart we just left. They have a 52-week high of $242.80 and a 52-week low of $160.93. And as I mentioned, we're looking at a 1-year daily chart right now. Now let's go to the higher time frame. And now we're looking at a 10-year weekly chart, and 2016 is right here. So we do have the full 10 years. They have a 10-year low of $67.12 and a 10-year high of $296.06. We do have some price action here, which is near what we have going on right now, because this is this current week, and it closed right there, had a low that came to there. So yeah, guys, I'm seeing that as a level. So let's go ahead and get this marked. Let's start marking this up. Put me back on the screen. I'm seeing that as a level. Now, I know it look like that's just one candle by itself, but that's just right there. I'm seeing these weeks respond to that price level as well back here. Can you see that? Yeah, I'm not blocking that. Okay, now right here, seeing that as a significant level as well. And what I say right there? Yeah, I would say right there. And that would be the top of this week's candle, actually. All right, now let's identify this before we leave this page, because we can't even see them. So let's zoom in. And what I'm talking about is the 200-week simple moving average and the 9-week simple moving average. And now we can see it. I'll spread it out a little bit more because now it's easier to see. So the 200-week simple moving average is at $222.07, and the 9-week simple moving average is at $188.92. And it closed at $179.01, and we can also see that right up here. So when the candle is red, they're going to put this in red over here, just in case you're wondering. If the candle was green, it'll be green over here. But because our simple moving average is green as well, it's a slightly different green, and then the text will be white. Okay, just to give you a heads up on that. All right, we have enough levels of support and resistance over here. Let's go ahead. Matter of fact, I'll put one more. These two candles. That'll be a weekly support at 161.23. All right, now let's go to the lower time frame. Let's go to the 1 year daily chart, and we can get busy. Immediately, this jumps out at me. The fact that we have this gap, we got a huge gap down that happened from Monday to today. So let's identify this gap, expand this over to December 1st. Bam, turn that yellow. Got it. Apply. Put the price level on that low. Got it. And on this high. Got it. So the top of that gap is it's exactly at $200. You see that right here? The top of that gap is $200 even. And then the low of that gap is $179.26. I know that white is hard to see on the yellow, guys, but that's the colors that we use, which is what we've been working with. All right, the 200-day simple moving average is at $204.29. And the 9-day simple moving average is at $198.22. And remember what I had told you about, if the candle was green, then the label would be green with white text. That's what you're seeing over there. But on the weekly, the candle was red. So now you know that about the charts if you didn't know. So with the price closing just below that resistance at $179.26, we have $171 as support, and we have $161.23 as support. All right. And as far as resistance, yeah, we got the 179.26, which you can barely see. And then you got the 183.25, which you can barely see. If I turn this yellow, let me turn this green. So it's right. Ooh, no, that's not what I wanted to do. Undo that. I wanted to, let's just put a box around it. There we go. So 183.25. And then the top of that gap, which would be that $200. And then we have that weekly resistance at 204.33. So we got some levels. We got some levels there. So let's go ahead and get our stock quote for Danaher Corporation. And let me take this green back off because I like my yellow. That's driving me a little crazy. So let's put my yellow back. All right, let's go to the settings, floating data box, and let's talk about it. So Danaher opened today at $168.84. They had a high of $179.26, and they had a low of $165.75. And they closed today at $179.01, which is a trading range of $13.51. Now, the volume, they traded 28 million shares of this stock today. Is that a big deal or a little deal? We about to find out. Let's cut the floating data box off. Take me off the screen. The average trading volume for Danaher in a daily trading session, guys, is 4.2 million shares. And today they did 28 million. That's 7 times what they normally do. 7 times 4 is 28, I believe. So that's what we're doing. And then when we look over here, this red candle right here, which was Monday's candle, came in above average, but it came in at 6.2 million shares traded on Monday. Okay. So that's what we got there. And now we're going to talk about this volume. And keep in mind, even we didn't mention this, they had earnings today, guys. So that makes sense about why they had high volume today. Yep, it was announced before the market opened, so they were able to respond to it once the market opened. But that gap down is crazy. Wow. Geesh. All right, now let's talk about the volume rank percent. Let's talk about the volume percentile. Bad habit of calling it volume rank percentile. Volume percentile. Put me back on the screen. So out of the most recent 252 trading days, guys, today's volume was higher than all of them. That's why I said 100%, which means none of those days had higher volume than today. Okay, so the volume was definitely high compared to the other 252 trading days, the most recent 252 trading days volumes. All right, we got it. Now we can move on. Let's go talk about the biggest winner. Let's go to the winner. So let's go over here to the Market Watch tab. Let's fix this. Do that. Go over to quotes. Change this to the gainers. So the biggest gainer for today is Sandisk, guys. It is Sandisk. Sandisk gain 14.27% today. Their previous close was $1,390.95. And they closed today at $1,589.40. Sometimes I get in the habit of saying the hundreds. I'll say it again. $1,390.95 was the previous close, and they closed today at $1,589.40. Just multiple ways of saying the same thing. Now let's do the hypothetical. Let's pull up the calculator. We were using 3,500 as an example. So if someone invested $3,500 and they got that 14.27% gain today, we turn that to a decimal, they would have gained $499.45. And we add that to the $3,500 principal, the total investment would have grown to $3,999.45. Bada boom, bada bing. We got it. Now let's go over here to the Analyze tab, and we can see that Sandisk is in the information technology sector. So we're going to see how that sector performed, that industry performed, and the sub-industry performed that Sandisk is inside of. So let's go over to the Market Watch tab and the Visualize sub tab. Take me off the screen. Here's the information technology sector. I'm seeing a lot to green. I see a lot of red over here, but I believe that's just in the software and IT services industries. So as far as the other 1, 2, 3, 4 industries in information technology, the majority of those are green. So when we go inside the semiconductors and semiconductor equipment industry, the majority of the, matter of fact, all of them, guys, all of it's green. So this industry did very well today. And matter of fact, guys, I'm moving too fast. This is not the industry that Sandisk is inside of. I got excited when I seen all that green. Let me back out. Sandisk is in the technology, hardware, and storage and peripherals industry, okay? I was looking at all this green and jumped over there. Here's where Sandisk is. This is the industry that they're inside of. So they're in the information technology sector, but they're in the technology, hardware, storage, and peripherals industry. So there we go. And all of that's green too. And there's Sandisk. And the information and the technology, hardware, storage, and peripherals industry is also the same name of the sub industry. So it's the same. They all did well today. Even SMCI. So SMCI had earnings today. They had a huge order thing that the earnings were great. So the stock jumped up after hours. That's just an honorable mention that I wanted to throw out there. Okay, so now let's go to the Analyze tab and let's talk about Sandisk before we visit the website for I don't know how many times this year, but we're about to go again. So Sandisk Corporation, here's their website. Link to their website is also down in the description. Sandisk Corporation develops, manufactures, and sells data storage devices and solutions using NAND flash technology in the United States, Europe, the Middle East, Africa, Asia, and internationally. Got it. Now let's go to their website. Take that down, go here. And there's their website. Yeah, we got everything there. Browse over the top. Yeah, everything we need is going to be down at the bottom. I'm so glad they finally updated this website because they had a bunch of stuff on here about football, soccer. They had a whole bunch of soccer stuff. And I remember seeing it because we just kept seeing Sandisk show up as a biggest gainer or biggest loser. All right, so let's read some of this stuff. Tiny Drive award-winning impact. Pro level speed for iconic moments. Storage space, storage, future ready, PCIe Gen 5 speed, featured content. Got it. Okay, we're at the bottom of the page. Let me take me off the screen and here we go. We have About Us, Careers, and Investors. So let's go to About Us. Let me make sure they got to zoom in before it loads up. Come on. All right, About Us. Let's see what we can find. At Sandisk, we keep people and businesses. Why am I not on the screen? There we go. At Sandisk, we keep people and businesses moving forward with inspired innovations to actualize their potential. Who we are. Our vast portfolio of flash products enables a seamless and simplified world of resilient, Data expression and storage. Got it. Our principles: innovation, sustainability, collaboration, and community responsible leadership. Innovation, propel progress. We believe the best way to predict the future is to build it. Yeah, sounds good. That's a good thing to do. Sustainability, invest in tomorrow. Powering people starts with protecting the planet. We are dedicated to responsible practices across the full scope of our supply chain, continually striving to go above and beyond to preserve and care for the world we all share through ambitious sustainability goals shaping our business in service of tomorrow. I never would have read that second sentence if I knew it was that long. Oh, I thought it was short as the first one. Collaboration and community, build better together. We create belonging with everything we do. Y'all ain't gonna get me twice. Responsible leadership, guide the way. Shaping global possibility is a privilege. So here are the executive leaders, board of directors. I think I see some new faces. All right. So we got through that. Now we're going to go to careers. Take me off the screen right here, guys. Bam. Careers. Join Team Sandisk. Meet Sandisk. Students and grads. Benefits. They made it easy. Yep. Finance, strategy, technology. These are different departments. Hiring process. Love when companies do that to prepare the candidate for the job. Yeah, find the perfect role. Okay, benefits. It's also right here at the top for this link. Helping you thrive. Holistic support keeps every part of your life running. One sentence. Now, the link for the description, the link for this website is also down in the description, just to remind you. Here is the layout of the benefits, guys. They did a great job. Here we go. Healthcare, lifestyle and well-being, and financial benefits. Good. Now let's go to investor relations. Take me off the screen. Here we go. Investors. Of course, that's outside the actual thing we were looking at. Is that 175? There we go. Sandisk to report fiscal fourth quarter and fiscal year 2026 results on August 5th, 2026. Announces investor day on August 13, 2026. So here are some other stats about the company, new releases, latest presentation and events, quick links. All right, we're at the bottom. We're going to go right here where it says stock information. There's also a drop down right here, but let's go to stock information. So there's the quote. Ooh, that looked nice. $1,589.40. Stock chart. Remember how we talked about stuff not loading up? Here's one of those situations. So it might be delayed, but it's coming. So while that's taking its time, I'll tell you about the other tools they have. So they have the historic price lookup and they have an investment calculator here. Come on, Sandisk. Come on. There's the chart. There you go, guys. Now, let's talk about what I got in my research about the company to go in a little bit more deeper detail about it. Here we go. All right. Sandisk Corporation. Ticker SNDK. When it comes to their goods and services, they manage flash storage across the consumer, enterprise, and industrial markets, offering solutions such as: number one, complete solid state drive options, including portable SSDs and internal SSDs for retail consumers. Number two, scalable enterprise memory products, including enterprise SSDs, flash arrays, and modules for cloud providers. And number three, optimized embedded flash systems tailored for smartphones, automotive hardware, and IoT devices. Looking at their S&P 500 clients and partners, notable names include Apple Incorporated, ticker AAPL, Microsoft Corporation, ticker MSFT, and Dell Technologies Incorporated, ticker DELL. Now, let's go to the charts. And guys, this is going to be easy because I told you we didn't cover them so many times. We got the charts marked up. But what's interesting about going back to the charts to see what's going on with the company that we've done before is to see if the price is actually responding to levels that we've already marked out. That's what's interesting about that. And as you can see, we got a lot of marks on here. We got a lot of levels. Oh, I might have to start cleaning some of these off. We might have to start doing, we might have to. But let's see how it's responding to what we have. I'm thinking, guys, I'm taking this in. So the first thing I'm seeing is a gap. And let me get the higher time frame out the way because I dove right into it. I didn't even tell you what the 52-week low was or none of that. So let me fix that. So Sandisk broke off or branched out from Seagate. They were part of Seagate. So they're not going to go back 10 years. So Sandisk, we're looking at a 10-year weekly chart, but this just goes back to 2025. We can see that right here. Here's the year. Okay. Here's their 2-year low of $27.89, and here's their 2-year high. That is crazy, guys. So that's that. Now let's go to the lower time frame. So we're going back to the 1-year daily chart, and we're going to zoom out. Here is their 52-week low of $40.10, and their 52-week high of $2,354.39. That is crazy. All right, now let's zoom in. And let's remove some of this. We don't need that. So it looks like it's respecting this 9-day simple moving average, guys. It closed above it this day right here. But then the very next day, it opened here. It opened below it, almost at the bottom of the green candle that closed above it. That's crazy. So then it closed below this area of support, which would have made it turn into resistance. Then the next day it opened here above the 9-day simple moving average, came down. It's been moving crazy. That's what I'm saying. Long story short. Okay, so let's remove this. We don't need that. And as far as right now, it looks like it found some support down here and was able to start recovering once it got below this $1,379.42. Okay. And now it gapped. It gapped between Monday and today. So let's identify that. Rectangle tool, the high, the low, turn it yellow, extend it over to December 1st. Bam, bam, bam. Got it. There's the gap. Price level. There's the low. That's the high. That's the low. Expand that. So I know we have a lot of levels going on here, guys. Okay. We got a lot of levels. But we're going to start changing them as necessary. But as far as right now, I think we're fine just to focus on where we are. Where we are. So I'm seeing that as resistance. Let's start with what's that? That is $1,589.40. That's going to be the 9-day simple moving average, because we've seen that it is responding to it. It's been trading below it for a while. How many days is that? Well, this is the one day it didn't. So counting from that one, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's been trading below the 9-day simple moving average for 7 days. Now up here, it started here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you had 6, then it closed above it. And then you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So we got that. As far as support, we got $1,546. Well, $1,546.09. You can see them. We got a lot. We got a lot of different levels over here. And with it being in the thousands, that's another reason why we have so many levels, guys. It's in the thousands. So that's what we got. Let's go ahead and get the quote for Sandisk, and then we can talk about the volume. I think the volume is going to be interesting. So let's go here. So Sandisk opened today at $1,511.67. They had a high of $1,595.64, and they have a low of $1,489.65, and they closed today at $1,589.40, which was a trading range of $105.90. The trading volume, guys, was 14.2 million shares of this stock was traded today. So is that a big deal, a little deal? We're about to find it out. Let's take the floating data box off, take me off the screen as well. The average trading volume for Sandisk in a daily trading session, guys, is 12.5 million. 12.5 million shares traded. Today, they did 14.2 million, which is definitely above average. And then this candle right here, Monday's candle, they came in at 12.5, which is just about average. Okay, so put me back on the screen. And out of the most recent 252 trading days, guys, Today's volume was higher than 64.3% of those trading days. So to me, that's not really significant. Me personally, I don't consider it significant until it's above 70%. But you got days above. So how many days were above had higher volume than today's candle? Not this red candle I was pointing at. Let me erase that. So not this candle, but this candle, which is Tuesday's candle. 90 days out of the most recent 252 trading days, guys, 90 of those days had higher volume than today. All right. And as a percentage, it's 64.3%. Today's candle was higher than 64.3% of those 252 trading days candles. How many days was it above? 162, which means DB means the days that's below. So when I said it the way I said it, today's volume was higher than the days that were below it. And the days that were higher than today's volume is going to be the days above. I know I overdid it, but I just wanted to be clear. All right, so that's it, guys. We're done. We're done. Let's go ahead and move this camera over to this and we can wrap this show up, guys. We can wrap up the show. Say Sandisk now. I almost did good. And I messed up with that little part right there, but we good. All right. You already know. I hope that you learned something and I hope that you earned something. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. This Sunday, July 26th at 9 p.m. Eastern time, we're reviewing this week's biggest gainers and losers, market sentiment, market volatility, S&P 500 sector performance, and creating a watch list for upcoming earnings. And make sure you keep tuning in weekdays following a market trading session at 11 p.m. Eastern time. Take care and God bless.